Hello, everyone. A very good evening to people tuning in from Australia, and a good noon to the Indians. Welcome back to another exclusive live interview on MeTV today. Wow, it's been one hell of a roller coaster, and finally, Victoria has recorded zero cases in the past few weeks. That's a glorious moment for us, isn't it? On that happy note, today I present to you all a scientist and engineer straight out of ISRO. Yes, you heard me. Sandeep Anumalasetti has been involved in some crucial space missions such as Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, to name a few. He has now received the prestigious Vice-Chancellor scholarship of Latrobe University to do a master's degree here in Australia. That's definitely a proud moment for all Indians across the world. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the man himself on the show, please.
Well,
Hello, Sandeep. How are you?
hi.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
How are things in India right now?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm
Thank
great,
you,
great.
Sandeep.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, Sandeep, I would like to congratulate you for this amazing achievement. How do you feel about this?
With the laptop, shall I switch it to mobile? Can I join through mobile? Because your voice is breaking continuously. Sorry about that.
Extremely sorry for all the viewers who have tuned in. We're having some minor technical issues. If you could just hold on with us,
I'll just
please.
join through mobile. Is that okay for you?
Um, I think, yeah, please join from your mobile phone. It's fine. Extremely sorry for anyone who's tuned in. This is one of the drawbacks of having a live show from at your house. So just whoever is here, please do stay back because the next 30 minutes is going to be simply amazing. Oh, welcome back, Sandeep. Thank you so much. I hope everything's fine now on your end.
Yeah. I'm extremely sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries. So, how are you doing? How has things been for you during lockdown?
It's kind of tough, but we have no other go. Even we were asked to, attend our work during that time. But yeah, indeed, it was a tough time, but we'll be able to manage.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, Sandeep, before I storm right into the questions, I want to take this moment to congratulate you for receiving the Vice Chancellor scholarship. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's amazing. No, this is not there in my head or any time I didn't think about that I'll be applying and then getting this scholarship. In During this process, I get to know about the scholarship and I just applied. I didn't even think about what is going to be the outcome.
Hmm.
Um, it went in my favor. Yeah, I'm happy about it.
That's amazing. And Sandeep, if you could enlighten our viewers a little about your qualifications and your background, that would make things easier for them to understand where you come from.
Sure. Like I am from Andhra Pradesh, India. I did my bachelor's in electronics and communication from KL University, which is there in Vijayawada. Then immediately after my bachelor's, I applied for masters in IIT Hyderabad for VLSI in computer engineering. Though I was not able to finish. I dropped out and joined TCS for a while. I worked for Tata Consultancy Services as a software engineer for some time, close to 9 months, I guess.
Mhm.
Uh, when I was at TCS, I got like usually ISRO recruitment. It takes around 1 year, like conducting written exam and then interview. All this process usually take 1 year till you get the
Mhm.
appointment. So during that time, I was working for TCS, and then when I got my appointment, my initial posting was at Sriharikota Satish Dhawan Space Center.
Yeah.
So there I worked for 2 years. Then again I got transferred to master control facility
Hmm.
to this again this satellite part. This around 2015, 2016 I came here to master control facility. From there onwards I've been working here as an flight dynamics engineer as well as spacecraft controller.
That's amazing. How did you feel the first time you kind of stepped into ISRO? It's like a very renowned organization. How did you feel?
Um, Actually, I have this thing in mind even when I'm studying for my bachelor's. I always want
Mhm.
to get into Indian Space Research Organization, but given that very limited vacancies and not huge competition, I know that it is not going to be easy. But I can make it with little hard work, and then from my end I will be able to pull this. Then I'm very fortunate that I got into ISRO for the very first attempt. So I gave the exam in my last year of bachelor's. I
Mhm.
cleared it. I cleared it in the first attempt, and then gave the interview, and then got selected. So the feeling was seriously like it's. I was so happy at that time. Yeah, I was on cloud nine. But
I can imagine, yes. So, coming back to the scholarship itself, Sandeep, how did you go about? What was the whole process of winning this, amazing scholarship? Can you tell us about it?
yeah, sure, sure. Latrobe previously they didn't have this, 100% vice-chancellor academic scholarship. They recently introduced, or I'm not sure whether they previously having, but I've been the first recipient of this scholarship.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, like everyone, I'm not sure that is this are they really going to give this scholarship? Like because it says 100%. Are they going to give? So I have these questions in mind, but I never like so when whatever that comes, what that comes across me, like I feel like okay, we'll attempt it. Let us see like what is going to be the outcome. We'll not think much about the outcome for time being. Let us attempt it and
Yeah.
see how it goes. Anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
I have planned for masters in Australia. So I applied for a couple of universities, but I'm very sure that I want to do it only from Melbourne, just given that strong connect to industries and stuff. I thought
Mm-hmm.
of doing it only from Melbourne. Then I applied to few of the universities from Melbourne. I got, of course, acceptance from each and every universities, and I also applied for a few universities for PhD as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the admission from each of them, and then in terms of standards, I feel more or less they stood on the same line. Uh, then suddenly one day I like then they asked me to apply for the scholarship, and also I got the invitation from university itself that I met all the criteria.
Yeah.
To talk about the eligibility criteria for the scholarship, they are looking for someone with strong academic background in a sense like they should have at least 85 or 80 minimum percentage
Yeah.
from the academics, and then someone who already committed to community and did some work during this time. And also these are the minimum eligibility criteria, and they asked
Mm-hmm.
us to submit a 4 to 5 minute video. uh,
Okay.
that video should cover the few of the questions they ask, like why am I eligible for this scholarship, what is that, what are my future goals, how I'm going to make the difference for the community, all these questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I made a 4 to 5 minutes video and then submitted. Maybe they got back to me by later some 2 3 weeks, and then I got a call from this one of the team from India that
Yeah.
they told me that my application was selected for the final round, and asked for the confirmation about that. Whether I'm going to continue with my education or any other plans. Then I confirmed that I have plans for masters anyhow, so I'll be
Yeah.
joining very soon. Then I got the final result again 2 days later, that confirming that I got the scholarship. This is how it
That's
went.
that's amazing. And how does your family feel about all of this? What was their first reaction?
Uh, to be like I didn't tell them at the beginning. Even when I first got the call that my application was selected for the final round, I didn't tell
Yeah.
them anything at all because I know, but they were having tough time as just like me in arranging the funds.
Mm-hmm.
Looking after the talking to banks for loan, all this stuff. They too are having the tough time. but I don't
Yeah.
want to give them the hopes and then make them feel disappointed. So I just kept it to myself. Then later I told them once I got the scholarship, they are equally excited. Seriously, they too equally excited.
That's amazing. So now that you will be coming to Melbourne, what are some of the things you plan on doing here? Have you done your research about some things you can explore further in your field of line here in Melbourne?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I have very close friend of mine who's already working there, who did her masters there and settled down there. And she's one of
Mhm.
the main reason for me to applying for masters only in Australia, because
Okay.
this transition was not so easy, because I had when I want to do masters, I had even US and then Australia in my mind. Uh,
Mhm.
then she's kind of gave me that confidence that things will be very good in Australia and my journey would be easy,
Yeah.
and there are good industry tie-ups which I can have post study. Then I thought like, okay, let us try to no, let us stick to Australia and then Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
yes, go on.
So, if you can also enlighten us, Sandeep, what was the primary reason behind choosing to do a master's?
This is a good question. See, yeah, even when I have plans for masters, even my family or everyone or the close to me, they ask me the same question, like, no, what is the need for masters at this point of time, given that I have close to seven years of work experience.
Correct. Yeah.
Uh, see, in this millennium, you just can't say that no, I don't belong to this background, so I just have to stick to only one discipline. This is, most of the industries for the matter, they are multidisciplinary.
Mm-hmm.
You should keep updating your knowledge, otherwise you'll nowhere in the competition. And I clearly see there is a gap for my, like, since I've been from this electronics and communication background, I've not been much exposed to computer science field. I thought I should address this gap, and then a master's in this field will definitely help me to get better roles and access to better projects. So that is the
Yeah.
reason. Even this 7 years of experience will definitely add some advantage over to this master's.
So, do you also have any plans of maybe pursuing PhD further down the line?
Yeah, yeah. Once I'm done with my masters, I have plans for PhD. Even I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready with my few of the proposals. The same thesis I want to continue for my masters project. If that goes
That's
well, yeah, I'll continue on the same field for PhD as well.
that's beautiful, Sandeep. So, Sandeep, can you shed a bit of light as to how was your entire experience of being associated with ISRO, and what were some of the things that you truly enjoyed?
Sure, sure. Given that I always even now feel that I'm very fortunate to be part of ISRO.
Hmm.
My initial posting was, as I told you, it was at Satish Dhawan Space Center, where
Yeah.
most of our work involved, integration with the vehicle segment. If you talk about space in particular, it comprises of, if you talk, you can divide into two, say, vehicle segment one, and then again comes satellite segment, and then okay, other part is payload section.
Yeah.
But in the initial journey, I've been working for Satish Dhawan Space Center, wherein I exposed to this vehicle integration, been able to know end to end process of this vehicle segment. Then later, 2 years later, I got transferred to master control facility,
Hmm. Hmm.
wherein
Hmm.
what exactly we do is, uh, see, like, we actually, once the satellite is launched, it is not into its final orbit. It's maybe somewhere in intermediate orbit. From there, we have to do these orbit raising maneuvers and then bring the satellite to the finally predefined orbit. Uh,
Yeah.
and and what exactly we do is we do this orbit tracing maneuvers, and then we'll bring the satellite to the desired orbit. Then we'll maintain its health throughout its journey, like throughout its life in the orbit. Say
Yeah.
if the satellite lifespan is say some 15 years, we have to take care about satellite health throughout its journey in the orbit. So we'll come across many challenges during its journey. So we do what it takes, like such that we try to keep the satellite in the same orbit and try to meet it satellite that mission requirements.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And how do you think working on so many missions and being associated with a reputed organization like ISRO has sort of changed your, like, your experiences, or has groomed you to be a better person?
Sure. This experience itself is vivid in a way that I no, I come from this electronics and communication background. I've been exposed to this satellite technology and also, microwave engineering. So most of my work even involves this, ground segment uh,
Yeah.
and handling the satellites most of the time.
Hmm.
Uh, it's sometimes I feel having direct access to satellite, understanding each and every component of the satellite is so amazing, because even people who are at the design level, they must be only working on few segments, like only few sections of the satellite. They don't have complete knowledge on what exactly satellite, what all components do. They don't have complete picture, they just have only one specific domain knowledge. Whereas people who work in this controlling place, like controlling satellite, they have all the information, each and every minute detail about the satellite. Being placed in this particular area and working for the controlling satellite gives us so much of knowledge. So I always feels lucky about that.
That's brilliant, actually. So I really like the fact that you're willing to explore, at a time when there would be many people who are working, let's say, at a very famous organization like ISRO. It's a very well settled job, but you chose to do the not so obvious and, pursue more and explore more. So how did you take such a bold step?
Yeah, I told you, like, this transition is definitely not easy. I had
Mm.
tough time on deciding, to move with masters or not. But like everyone, even I discussed with my close friends and associates,
Yeah,
like how it is going to be, and few of them, they really, made the job very easy for me. Like they just we just sorted out, like what are the positives, pros and cons of this decision, how I'm
correct.
going to
Yeah.
be benefited, and in what aspects I'll be having some tough time. So yeah, I know that the roadmap is not going to be very smooth, but then a little hard work will compensate everything.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, has your last day already been done with ISRO, or is it going to be in the future?
It's going to be in the future, because since they're not yet opened the borders, I'm still in India. So
Yeah.
once they open the borders, I may apply for resignation and then move on for my higher education.
So, other people, like some of the colleagues that you work with in ISRO, are they aware that you are going to be leaving their side soon?
Yeah, when I have plans for master plans for this higher education at Australia, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't tell them in the beginning, but since sometimes what happens is they'll be if few missions will start in advance, like once they take me into one of the project, if I tell them in between, that will be tough for both for them as well as for me to leave
True.
that project. So
Yeah.
I just have to give the information prior, so that they'll not consider me for few of the critical missions which continuously going on.
Yeah. And how do you feel, Sandeep, about all of this? Like, are you emotional at all that you won't be obviously going back for a while at least? How do you feel?
You mean like not going to Australia in the near future? That's what you're asking.
Oh, no, no, no. Like, you won't be going back to ISRO, right? Once you
Yeah,
resign.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, how
This
do
is
you
going to
feel?
be the toughest thing. Yeah, this is going to be the toughest decision. Only in that, not about the finances or anything, because I know that eventually I'll get paid and then I can compensate all this. But not coming back to ISRO is not going to be definitely not an easy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to compromise on few, and then if you want something new, like yeah, you have to compromise on other things.
So, Sandeep, if you can also enlighten us a bit about how has ISRO as an organization, in terms of developing missions and executing them, how has it changed or improved over the years? Have you seen it closely so that you can enlighten our viewers a bit about it?
Yeah, sure, sure. ISRO itself, if you talk about the progress we are making, it's amazing, seriously, because uh, I know, like, I had friends from who are working for other government organization and then other technical industries of government, like say DRDO and other, critical organizations from government end. Yes,
Correct.
I'm not saying that they're not doing good. They're equally doing good. But ISRO, in few aspects, they're very disciplined in a sense that we're more, I- yeah, we're more committed in many ways. And also few, key changes that are happening in coming days because more, Prime Minister himself has announced a recent key change for space sector is they're giving a provision that private players also can be part of upcoming missions wherein they can spend it what ISRO at the moment is doing is if you ask me like 60% we are 60 to 70% we are doing for commercial purposes like communication satellites to meet the demands of the users wherein
Yeah.
we spend 40% on research. uh, Again, like it is more burden on the government whereas if they encourage private players into the space sector, they can take up the routine work such as user requirements and then whatever the demands are there that can be taken by the private players, where
Mhm.
ISRO can concentrate more on the research side.
Correct.
So you can see this change is going to benefit more for the ISRO in coming days.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense a lot. Thank you so much for giving that really crucial information. And what would you say has been one of your biggest learning since you have been working with ISRO? What is that thing that really changed about you? What did you learn?
Um Yeah, in a sense, like see, since I came directly from the bachelor's, like working in teams, and then that too at tough times when you will be with when you'll be given with no solution but to come out with to attend the issues.
Yeah.
Yes, this team experience is something which actually taught me so many things. Together team you always can do better. This is a big learning for me because you not necessarily be maybe you're good at one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but that itself is not going to help you get the things done. At times only a good teamwork will give you the better results than anything else. So working in teams, particularly at critical missions in ISRO, taught me a lot.
That's amazing. And Sandeep, if you could also tell us who has been your biggest inspiration or your guiding force through all these years?
Uh, See, like it's always been my parents. Why I always feel, even because whoever asked, like they always come to my mind. If you talk about like because they had the way they handled us, even with the limited finances, they show us like how we should take care about the family or in tough times. So it always shows, even at the as a kid myself, like I, it gives me some responsibility whenever I handle things. So
Yeah.
that sense of feeling always, keeps reminding me about the decisions I take. So I always, have immense respect for them, the way they handle our family. So they are the motivating factor for me to for any decision I take.
That's very amazing, actually. If they hear this, they would be very happy too, for all the achievements you have also been doing so far. That's brilliant. So, Sandeep, before you do come to Melbourne, now that the borders are still closed,
Yeah.
now India's lockdown stage is still ongoing. How have you kept yourself productive during the lockdown phase?
Uh, like everyone, yeah, we have very no, the situation itself is very tough at that time. But given the place where I am in had very limited cases, and also they were like department rules, like we were not allowed to leave the station because since we supposed to attend the office each day,
Yeah.
we in no way we are not allowed to even go on some personal works to some other places. So I was in pretty much in the same place, going from office to home. That's it. So since there were not much cases in my place, that helped me handle the situation quite easily.
That's amazing, yeah. And if you could also discuss with us as to what are your future plans that you have in mind right now while you're going to be pursuing a master's here in Melbourne.
Sure. Uh, as I already told you, based on the no, I'll be working on my once I'm done with my final project in the second year of masters, either I'll opt for the PhD, or I'll work for space sector for coming 2 years, since I'm planning to apply for this post study working visa, and then I'll work for 2 years to get some international experience. That
Yeah.
will always add weightage to my resume. So I may work for either one of the space sector. There are many quite good companies are there. Getting across them is very with this masters it would help me. And also, yeah, if I'm equally excited with my project in the second years of master, maybe I'll go with PhD itself. Otherwise, I'll go for working for the any space sector, particularly in the ground segment, in any of the ground stations, at stations in Australia.
That's amazing. And I think Australia is very lucky to have you because you're definitely going to be bringing a change here. That I believe strongly. So thank you for picking Australia, I would say. And before I wrap up, Sandeep, if you have a message that you want to give out to any youngster out there who is watching you and wants to follow a similar path as yours, what would your few words of inspiration be for them?
Um, See, because the problem with no, I again don't want to complain on an individual level, but I see this complaint on most of the people of our generation. Like we want to see the things or results in very short span, but uh, this is not how it should be. Uh, you know, uh, Results usually, eventually it will follow. Only you have to put your efforts first. So there are the three
Correct.
things I always believe that can, bring success. That is hard work, hard work, hard work. Like nothing replaces hard work. So just keep working. Things eventually will follow you.
I think that's a very apt, word of inspiration because I see, like you said, that a lot of youngsters right now, at least, they're very fast and they don't trust the process, right?
Yes.
So I think it's amazing, Sandeep. Thank you so much for those wise words. And one final question: how excited are you? Are you like going to come here and explore Melbourne because Melbourne's an amazing city in itself? Do you have any plans of where you want to head out first?
Not really. I've been to Melbourne already once in the month of February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a very huge cricket fan, like any Indian, if you ask me. Even when I visited Melbourne, there were no matches happening, but I visited Melbourne Stadium. Yeah, maybe I'll visit the stadium once I've been to Melbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I love Melbourne Stadium actually. It's really amazing, right? Like I
Yes,
back home in India, I used to see it on TV, but here I can see it live.
yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Sandeep, for taking the time out and having a chat with Me TV today. It's truly an honor for us for having you on our show. I personally would like to wish you all the very best in your new adventure. And is there anything that you want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, thanks to you, and then thanks to Sri Karu, for having me on the show. Yeah, even I learned that like you guys are from in India. It gives me that kind of initial, that excitement that I want to do it for you people. So it's indeed a great feeling to having me on the show. It's a great pleasure for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandeep. And once again, I wish you all the very best and can't wait to have you in Melbourne and start doing your magic here as well. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
once again for choosing Me TV and giving us this wonderful conversation. And to all the viewers out there who tuned in today, thank you everyone for choosing Me TV one more time. And also, don't forget to check out our latest Me World website. It's a one stop platform where you get movies, you can listen to various talk shows, short films, dance, music, everything. You literally have to go to the Me World website and you'll find whatever you're looking for. Thank you so much, Sandeep, one more time. And thank you to all the viewers. I hope you all have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.